Hey guys, so I've got a question for all of you today. How much money do you think you need to launch a YouTube channel today from scratch? How much money would you need to buy all the gear you need? The camera, the microphone, audio interface, all the audio equipment, all the lighting equipment. Let me know what you think down in the comment area below. I'm going to give you my 2 cents, but I will say that this video was inspired by this video. This is a video Mark Bennett published last week entitled Gear I Would Buy If I Started Today with Gerald Undone. So they're two YouTubers that do a lot of camera reviews. Very good YouTubers, I respect their opinion. And Mark put the question forward, what would you do if you had a cheap budget of $2,500? Now, I'm sure a lot of people have a problem with those words going together, cheap budget and $2,500, because let's face it, the YouTube landscape would look very different if that was what you needed to get going on YouTube. I think most YouTubers start out organically and they start off with what they need. And that's maybe the lowest entry point, I think, for getting started on YouTube, a webcam or using your phone. In my experience, what I did was I started with an Olympus camera that I had. This was before smartphones were really good at recording videos. I moved on to an action camera, then I got like the Panasonic G6, and then I was buying lights and audio equipment and different things. And that was my growth. That was how I started to learn how to do all of this. And I'm still learning before any of you criticize me. I know I still have a lot to learn. But that was how I started things. That's how I got going. And, you know, I think a lot of YouTubers start that way. They start with pretty much next to no funds. And then, you know, they kind of scrape together some cash to buy what they need. Because when you start off, you don't always know what equipment you need. And I also think that if you set a really high budget of a few $1,000s, you're kind of procrastinating from starting. I think there's a lot to be said about just getting going, about just recording videos, making mistakes, making a lot of mistakes, and then you start figuring out what you need to do, what went wrong. But to play devil's advocate with myself, I think they do have some good points here. Gerald Undone said that below $2,500, you might be as well just using your smartphone. Now, I maybe don't agree with that 100%, but as far as waiting to get going until you have a budget, I think there is some merit in that. I think there is something to say about that. I remember I must have had like several hundred subscribers at the start, or 1,000 subscribers. I was still kind of starting off. And there was another YouTuber that started just behind me, and they didn't really know too much. They weren't technical, but what they did have was a budget. They clearly came from a wealthy family, because from day one, their videos, I mean, it looked like something that Hollywood produced. They clearly spent tens of thousands of dollars on their equipment for their YouTube channel, and it was just their hobby. Maybe they went to film school. I don't know what their background was, but yes, there is merit to doing that, because clearly from, you know, when you compare their videos together, I looked very amateur. They looked very professional. And, you know, good audio matters, good lighting matters, good video quality matters. And what they had was a major head start on me. You know, it took me years to get the equipment that they were using. It took me a long time to get to that position. And I suspect they're even further down the line now. My point is, though, there is a good argument for, you know, say you're going to start your YouTube channel in January. There is a good argument for just working a bit longer, saving up your cash, and then waiting a few months extra, taking notes of the videos that you're going to create, and then save up to buy that better camera or that better microphone, or getting your lighting sorted. I don't think there's a right or wrong answer to all this. I just think it's an interesting discussion. So I'll put it back over to you guys. How much money do you think you need to launch a YouTube channel today? How important is the gear to you? The cameras, the lights, the microphone equipment, etc. I mean, for some people, all they need is a gaming headset and a laptop and a webcam, and they create amazing content. So I think it does differ for everyone. But I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. So please do post a comment below. And until next time, take care.